Hello, everyone. Please confirm if I'm audible clearly. Yeah, hi, Animesh. Hello, Neeraj. Yes, audible, right? Okay, thanks. And you can see my screen as well, right? Yeah, hello. Hi. Yeah, hi, Tasmia. Hi, hello. Okay, thanks. Okay, we'll start. Okay, we'll start at 4:05. Okay. Okay, so still people are joining. Okay, we'll start at 4:05. Okay. So meanwhile, if you have any queries, let me know. Yeah, good evening, Mukko. Yes, in which group you're talking about? Amarendra. What's up? Okay, that will be added. Okay, don't worry. Okay. All right. So let's start. So today's agenda is the introduction, right? I'll be sharing this slides with you. Okay. So I have just listed like what are the topics which we're gonna cover in this course, right? We are starting with the introduction. So I have just mentioned the introduction bit, but there are many subdivisions into it. Okay, like introduction to, it could be business analytics, introduction to data analytics, the introduction to data itself, right? So all the introductions I've just grouped that into an introduction. Okay, so then we'll focus more on the tools required, because as yeah, in the during the learning process, okay, you should be aware of like what all the tools apart from like Excel and the other things. Okay, majorly the popular tools in the market. Okay, so we'll be discussing all the important tools which basically help you to grow in this field, right? So we'll be discussing in detail, I mean, like at each and every step, so what are the tools required. So next, of course, we're going to start with the Excel. Okay, so Excel will be our first tool, data analysis tool. So where we'll be learning from very basic to the advanced level. Okay, and parallelly, we'll be seeing the Google Sheets as well. Okay, like kind of assignments or some projects. Okay, so along with the Excel, so parallelly we'll be doing the Google Sheets. So once we are done with the Excel part, okay, so in the Excel, even we'll learn the Power Query as well. Because I mentioned the Power Query after the Power BI, but so in the Excel also, I mean, like, so we're gonna learn like how to open the Power Query from the Excel and do the transformations. So in the Excel, there are various ways. Okay, I mean, like. So whenever you're doing some kind of task, so same task can be done in multiple ways. Okay, like for example, if I just give you a scenario, if I want to add the two numbers, so I can make use of functions. I can just directly use the plus operator. So there are n number of ways, right? So to do certain only the addition. So similarly, to do any kind of analysis, there are the numerous ways. Okay, I mean, like whatever I'm showing is not just one standard way. So you can perform the same analysis multiple ways. Okay, so for that reason, so we'll be exploring Excel as well as the parallelly Google Sheets, and along with that, even we'll explore the Power Query. Okay, so because whatever the analysis you're doing in Excel, like kind of transformations, we can do that in the Power Query in just within a few button clicks, right? So then we'll move on to the databases. Okay, so this is the place we'll explore all about the databases, data warehouses concepts, or ETL concepts. Okay, so specifically when I say database, we're going to learn all about the MySQL workbench, right? So specifically we learn MySQL. I mean, like using the workbench, we learn all the basic concepts, starting with the basic to advanced. Like CTs, window functions, okay, store procedures. So all those things will be learned using the MySQL. But if you are interested, you can just parallelly do it with the Postgres or any other DBMS. Okay, so that will be guided through the during the live class. Okay, so but we'll be sticking to one database here. Okay, one RDBMS. But if you're interested, in case you want to do it along with the MySQL, you want to do Oracle or Postgres or SQL Server, you can do it. Okay, but only the slight differences in the syntax will be there. Okay, so then of course we're going to jump to the BI tools. So here also we'll explore what are the popular BI tools and the importance, and we are going with the one BI tool, sorry, two BI tools. One is the Power BI and Tableau. Okay, first we'll cover the Power BI, then the Tableau. And so projects also, I've just mentioned it, but we'll be doing the projects like once we complete one certain topic or one certain tool. Okay, so this is the master slide, you can say, because all the upcoming topics or whatever I'm gonna wherever I'm using the slides, so that will be added in this slide. Okay, I mean, like this is the master slide, so you'll not be having any multiple slides here. So I'll be sharing this once the class is done. Okay, you can just refer the slides whenever you have any queries or whatever it is. Okay, apart from the slides, okay, I will be sharing the written notes. Okay, any scripts. Okay, and of course, like when we learn the Excel, will be having a lot of sheets, right? So that will be the downloadable, because if we are going with the Google Sheets, it's simple to access. But when we are going with the Excel, so it's just a hard copy which is which we need to be downloaded, right? So that will be shared that with you. Okay, so although resources will be available to you. Okay, so this is the topics to be covered for this entire 3 to 4 months. Okay, yeah, so first let's start with the introduction. Okay, so in today's class, the agenda is we'll understand in very simple terms, okay, with real time scenarios of what the data analysts do, what is the business analyst do, and introduction to data itself. All right, so any queries so far? And so whenever I'm asking any questions, okay, I'll pause after explanation of 10 to 15 minutes. You can just write down your queries, and you can just ask me in the chat. Okay, so while explanation, okay, so don't ask anything because I'll not be seeing the chat screen. So whenever I ask you to send something, I mean, related any queries, you can just send me in the chat. All right, all good, shall we start? Yes, and please maintain notes. Notes is very important because uh, 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 the whatever the see, I'm giving all the notes, okay. But from your end, you need to make the notes of everything. I mean, like whatever we're discussing. If you have any anything need to be noted down, okay. Maintaining the notes is very important. Yes. Okay. So let's start. Yesterday also we have discussed. I mean, like in a brief manner, like what is data analysis, what is business analytics or analysis, right? So now, All right. Okay, so I think there is some discontinuity. Please confirm. I saw like there was some you people there, right? All right. Okay, so yesterday we discussed, I mean, like data analytics and the business analytics, right? So the in the brief terms, okay. So what is data analysis? So data analysis in simple terms, okay. If I want to just tell you, like data analysis is we have the raw data or the data, okay. So where we analyze that particular data to get the business insights, right? There are numerous ways like how we can just define the data analysis. So one of the definition is, so data analysis is a process of inspecting, okay. So clean cleansing, I mean like cleansing or cleaning, transforming and modeling the data with the goal of discovering useful information, informing conclusions and supporting decision making, okay. So you can see like there are so many things, right? So when I say a data analysis, okay, so we have the data, so our hero is data, right? So we gonna use that data, okay. So for we go in that process, okay. Of course, during the data analysis process we're gonna inspect the data, okay. The first step is the inspection, okay, because whatever the data or whatever the domain you're working with, okay, the first step you're gonna check is all about the data itself, right? The inspection is very important, okay. When I say inspection, it just a walkthrough, I mean like as soon as you get some data, of course you're gonna check the columns, you're gonna check the data types, you'll do the basic analysis, right? So inspecting is very important, okay. So of course the next step is cleaning or transforming. We can just combine these steps. Generally we call this as a data wrangling also, okay. So data wrangling is just cleaning the data, right? So again, the clean when I say cleaning the data, there are a lot of things, okay. So we generally think of whenever during the explanation, if I want to say like what is the cleaning, we talk about renaming it, okay, dropping the null values, okay, and whatever it is, okay. So basically, so we are doing all those things. Why? Because whenever we're doing some kind of analysis or building the report, we need a clean data, because if you have null values or blank values or the data types which is not in the proper order, right? Of course you can't perform any kind of analysis. In simple terms, assume like you want to do the sum of sales. If that sales table is in some string data type, you can't do the summation, right? So transforming is very important step. So almost 70 to 80% of time you'll be working on the transformations, okay. So getting the data, all these things will be you can do it, okay. But the lot of people spend more on the transformations, because in real time you'll get very bad data, okay. So just think this, just remember this, because whenever you're working as a data analyst or a data scientist, or generally, I mean like or any of the data industry, right? So in the real time you'll be getting a very bad data, okay. So once you're done with inspecting, once you got to know, okay, what is the data source, okay, from where you're getting the data, okay, so you're going to transform or clean the data, okay. So this step is generally called as a data wrangling step, right? So next is modeling the data. Of course, you're going to see the schema structure, right? So relationship between the tables, okay. So of course you'll be having more than hundreds of tables which is connected, right? So I'll be showing those diagrams going forward, but you'll be doing the data modeling, right? So why we're doing all these things, the main goal of doing all those things is to discover the useful information, very important. So we are doing all those things just to find some insights, right? So why we're finding this insight, so that I can just improve my business, right? So I can just support my decision making. If I'm telling, okay, so this product is not performing well, okay, so I have the proof for that, because this is what the analysis have done, okay. So when I say data analysis, so in simple terms, we have the data, so we're gonna extract some meaningful information from the data to make some key decisions in my business, okay. So this is what the meaning of data analysis is. So in the you can see this gif also, right? So we have the data sources and the end result, I mean like no one sees this part, but the end result is just the decision making, okay. So based on whatever the data we have after the cleaning process and stuff, okay, so we're going to see only this dashboard at the end, right? So this is what the meaning of data analysis is. So next we have something called a business analytics, okay. So yesterday I told you, so whenever you were discussing about the business analytics, it's a process of using the data, okay, to make a better decisions, okay. So now it's like a one level higher, okay. Because once the data analysis is done with the analysis, okay, so the business analysis is a people or a people in a company, okay, where they'll be connecting to the clients, okay. So to talk about their data, okay, their business, okay. So these people will take a decisions, okay. So that's what. So these people it during the data business analytics, okay, it involves collecting, okay, analyzing and visualizing data to identify patterns patterns, trends, and the correlations. Okay, so almost you'll see the same definitions. Okay, when you search what is the difference between the data analytics or the business analytics, but only the key line is this business analytics, or the people who are get hired for the business analytics, they should have the strong domain knowledge. Okay, so this is what the main thing you need to remember. Yes, getting my point? Yes, guys, in chat, all good. You can just send me the thumbs up, okay, in case if you have access to smileys. Yes, thanks. Okay, so and please be interactive. Okay, so whatever it is, so you can just send me in the chat. Okay, let's keep it interactive, because it's not it's so whenever I'm speaking something and when I'm pausing it, I want you to type something. Okay, so that it will feel good for me also. I mean, like, you people are understanding or not understanding, or anything is fine. Okay, all good, fine. So now generally, like, when if you're a fresher, okay, so repeatedly I'm talking about business decisions, right? So what is the meaning of this business decisions? Okay, let's try to understand that. Okay, so let's take some various domains over here. Okay, so when I say, like, because here in the definition I've mentioned that business analytics is a process of using data to make a better business decisions. Okay, so what is this business decisions? Okay, so I have just added a few domains here, right? Like marketing is one of the domain. Okay, so sales, okay, operations, or it could be department in the company. Okay, when I say they are taking a business decision, so what is that business decisions? Okay, so like for example, in the marketing, okay, so they are deciding whether the customer segment to target for a new product. Okay, which customer segment, right? Or optimizing ad spend across the different marketing channels. Okay, so this is what the business questions you can say. Okay, or personalizing the promotions based on the customer's behavior. Okay, so if you are into sales, okay, so they'll be thinking of all this questions, like setting the sales target based on some historical data and the market trends, right? So identifying the cross selling or upselling opportunities, right? So choosing the pricing strategies, like, so recently I hope you have seen, like, the people used to I mean, like, if you are purchasing some products through iPhone and through the Android phone, the pricings are totally different. Have you people seen that? I think recently it was viral post, I mean, like, in LinkedIn, and have you seen that? If you are purchasing something, okay, yeah, have you seen that? Yeah, right. So this kind of strategies, right? So they're gonna that's what they're gonna implement that in their products, right? Even the operations, right? Like in determining the inventory levels, okay, to avoid the overstock or stock outs. Okay, whenever I'm referring to some of the keywords, so now you will be understanding the importance of the business. I mean, like, the domain part, right? So when I say, like, ROI, okay, return on investment. Okay, if you don't know what is this return on investment in the finance, you'll not able to perform any kind of analysis. Okay, yeah, yeah, that's correct, Neeraj. Okay, so in the iPhone, yeah, so price and the Android price were different. Just think, okay, even if you are booking the rides, right, Ola and Uber, just look into that. Okay, the same rides will have the different pricing strategies. Okay, so it's not only in the Uber or Ola. Okay, almost in if you're purchasing anything like in any of the websites, okay, just check. Okay, even the Udemy has this pricing strategies, right? So if you want to buy some course in 499 in iPhone, okay, so the pricing will be totally different. Okay, sometimes, like, if you're seeing the same course in some other using some other screen, okay, I mean, like, in the laptop, or you're seeing some Android phones, okay, the pricing will be totally different, right? So this is what the meaning of business decisions. Okay, so they're going to take all these decisions. How can then, of course, they need to have the data with them, right? So to prove something. Okay, so when I say, like, deciding which customer segment to target for the new product, of course they'll have some data with them. Okay, so based on that analysis, they're going to take the decisions. Okay, so this is what the examples of decisions I've just listed, right? So now during the data analysis process, okay, see, sometimes while explanation, whenever I'm referring to data analysis or the business analytics or business analysis, so all the process will remain same. Okay, so but we'll try to add that with the domain understanding. Okay, and going forward, I mean, like, in the future classes, of course, we'll have certain teams. Okay, so we're going to divide that so that you'll be working in some of the domains which you're interested in. Okay, so for example, if you're interested in the health sector, we'll try to do the analysis using the health. Okay, so whether from finance, marketing. Okay, so that will be doing it as we proceed. Okay, so don't worry about that. All right, so now let's focus more on the data analysis processes, right? So any doubt so far? You understood, like, what is the major difference? I think, like, now there should be no confusion, sir. What is business analytics or what is data analytics? Got it? Any doubts in this, guys? Please let me know in chat. Okay, any confusions? Understood like what is the difference and what is the thin line which is which is differentiating between the data analysis or the business analytics. So whenever you're getting hired for the business analytics, okay, so of course you should have the domain understanding. Okay, so I'll be showing some of the snapshots. Okay, at the end of the slides. Okay, so when you go and search in the LinkedIn, okay, as a business analytics roles. Okay, so of course you can see those things. Okay, whatever I've just mentioned it right now. Yes. Okay. Is speed okay? Is speed okay? I mean, like generally, like just wanted to know. I mean, like if anything, like you feel like I'm speaking very fast, you just let me know in chat. Yes, yeah, okay, all right. Uh, okay, thanks, Dinesh. Thanks. Okay, all right. So now I was, yeah. So we were discussing about the data analysis process. Yeah, yeah, sure, sure, Ganesh. Yeah. Okay. So we have the data analysis process now, right? So whatever the architectures you're going to see, I mean, like I'll show that. Okay. So whatever the architectures you're going to see, you'll have the same kind of a process. Okay. So we have the business questions. Okay. So of course, whenever you're working, but of course you'll not have. I mean, like you'll not find unless you're a founder or you're started your startup. But already there'll be some listed business questions. Okay, which needs to be answered, right? So we have a business question. Okay, so of course the next step is to get the data. Okay, once we have the data, we're going to explore the data. Okay, so this exploration you can combine that with the preparations. Okay, so all these things can be together. I mean, like exploration or preparation or data wrangling or data cleaning. Okay, so generally it's all about the exploration or transformations. Okay, so all those steps are included here, right? So then we're going to analyze the data. Okay, and finally present the findings. Okay, so this is what the entire flow is. And while designing, I mean, like so if you see some of the data pipelines, okay, specifically to data analytics, whether it's cloud or any other you are seeing the cloud architectures or any other architectures, will have the same process. Okay, so we'll have the ETL process generally, right? So extracting the data, transforming the data, and finally loading the data. Okay, so let's focus more on the business questions. Okay, when I say business questions, so you can see I've just listed n number of business questions here. It's the same thing like whatever I've just told you, right? Like how we can increase the customer retention. Okay, so what is the meaning of this? How we can what is the meaning of customer retention? Any idea like what is the meaning of customer retention? So it's not specific to any domain. I mean, like generally I'm asking like any idea like do you know what is the meaning of customer retention? Okay, can you just share me any of these strategies you have seen in across any of the applications if you're using any? I mean, like I hope you have used a number of applications to keep customer. Yeah, then yes, that's I think you are typing it. Yes, yes. Can you people give some of the examples? Opposite of churn. Yeah, that's correct. But I want some examples. Okay, Netflix want to retain more and more customers. Okay, through recommendations or whatever the suggestions. Okay, but anything have you observed like Flipkart, Amazon, they have added the games, right? You can play games, you can spin. Okay, there are a lot of activities you can just perform, right? I mean, like they want to see almost like all the products. Okay, okay, can you just tell me in Euron like what could be the one of uh, uh, the I mean, like we have added something in our Euron. Okay, so where people can just interact with them and spend time on our website. Yeah, Euron wants to keep the students in the website. Okay, yeah. Have you seen the bytes, right? So bytes, can you say like it's almost similar to reels? Yeah, bytes. That's correct, Animesh, right? Customer retention, right? Yeah. So it's one of the business problem. Okay. So for example, I want to increase the customer retention. Okay. Yeah, AI chat. That's correct. Okay. So it could be any application that has been integrated, right? So now when I say like I want to retain this, yeah, so when I say like I want to retain, right? Of course, like assume like I have just implemented something. Okay, thinking that okay, so I have added this feature, and so people are using it. Okay, but I don't know like what is happening. Okay, whether the people are staying or they're leaving. Okay, so I don't know about that, right? So this is one of the business problem I can say, right? So similarly, you can say like which product categories generate the highest revenue. Okay, so for all this I need of course the data, right? So what is causing a decline in sales in specific regions, right? So then which marketing channels drive the most conversions, right? Like how we can just optimize inventory levels to reduce cost. So what is the expected revenue for next quarter? Okay, so you can I've just listed multiple questions here, so just to understand the business. Okay, so now I want you people to select the domain. Okay, so if I tell you, okay, which domain you're interested, can you just tell me at least one or two business problems which you think of, like which is there currently? Any one or two people? Yes. Because I've listed many examples. If you people are already working, okay, so can you just think of any of this kind of business questions or business problem? Ah, okay. So Ash is telling, okay, to keep customers by giving some good goodies. Okay, that's great. Finance, bank fraud. Okay, Neeraj, fine. Blinkit, yeah. So recently, the Blinkit used to give some goodies, right? That's correct. Yeah, yeah. I used to receive that. I have received it. Yes, you're getting it right. So, what could be the business problems? Okay. So, any people come up with some good business problems next class? Okay. So, so here you're getting the first assignment, right? So, I want you people to first select the domain. Okay. I mean, like, people are looking to make a transition, or you'll be having some, I mean, like some goals. I mean, like, I want to get into so and so companies. This is what my path or role is, right? I mean, like, the goal is, right? First, you decide the domain. Okay. So, if you don't have any specific domain, you can just pick, I mean, like, 2 to 3 domains, okay, which you're interested in. Okay, so and you can just frame a questions. I mean, like, so whatever the assignments I'm giving you, please make a note of that, and even of course I'll have the track of those things. So whatever the assignments I'm giving through, I mean, like during the live class, right? So make sure to just note it down. Okay, and you can just send me that, or I'll be sharing all those things, like how to submit and all those things. But this is the first assignment which I'm giving. Okay, I want you to first select the domain. Okay, and just list down like what could be the business objective generally the companies are working with, right? Working on, right? Yes. Okay. So you're getting my point, right? So when I say business decisions, just think of the questions, okay? Business questions, sorry, business questions, or problem statements, okay? So there could be one business question which needs to be solved by data analyst or business analyst, okay? Okay, see, the end product is like I need to present something, right? So when I say like how can we increase the customer retention, if I take this as one of the example or business problem, so of course I need to just have one good plan. Okay, so what are the like many people said about the Blinkit. Okay, so yeah, so many examples I got it right. So we can see. So this is one of the this is what the companies have implemented. Okay, you can just make a case studies. I mean, like this is how they have done. Okay, so when you start working like this, right? Trust me, you're gonna learn. You're gonna enjoy it. Okay, so if you just blankly read, I mean, like blankly you're just reading the Excel, you're learning how to do the summation, you're plotting some bar chart, a graph chart, you don't know why we are plotting it. Okay, just a waste of time. You're getting my point, right? You're making note of all these things, I believe. Okay, so make sure, so whatever make a case statements. I mean, like if you are into some domain you're already interested in, okay, just have a just do the case studies. Okay, so what they are doing it. I mean, like if you're like, okay, if you're selecting Amazon, okay, so what are the business problems. Okay, so even you can just check that in LinkedIn. Okay, so what are the job responsibilities they are currently, I mean, looking for, okay, when they are hiring for the business analyst or the data analyst, right? All right. Okay. So I hope you got an idea, and I have given you a first assignment. I want you to choose first what a domain. Okay, interested domains, and anyways, I'll be sharing that. Okay. So if you don't have like which domains you are interested in, so I can share that a number of domains. Okay, you can just select, and you can just frame a questions. Okay, so that it will be ready for discussion for the next class. Okay, all right. So now let's try to understand this with a scenario. Okay, so I have just listed here, right? So we have the business question. So we have the get data thing, then explore the data, then we're gonna prepare the data, then analyze the data and present the findings. Correct. So now I've just broken down into, I mean, like a good scenario. Okay, so assume like we have a business question. So here, what we generally do, so we identify the key business problem or opportunities to address. Right. So this is what the business problem is. Right. So one key. Or you can say a KPI. Okay, so KPIs will not say KPI here because it's a key performance indicator, but it's just one of the question which needs to be answered. Okay, so of course you'll have the n number of questions. Okay, so n number of problem statements. This is just one of the example just to understand. Okay, just to make you understand. All right. Okay, so here the business question. So here what we're doing, so assume like I have one of the question which needs to be answered. Okay, so like what features, okay, should the new smartwatch has to be outperform competitors and attract the customers in $150 price range. Okay, so it's proper question. Okay, so proper, so you can't answer it unless you do the analysis, right? So if I just give you data, and if I ask you like, this is what the question, okay, this is what the manager is asking, okay, so if you don't know how to do this kind of analysis, okay, so you're just blank, right? So understanding the business problem is very important, and that's where the domain understanding is very important. Okay, so here you can competitors. Okay, if you don't know what is competitors, I mean, like, generally I'm speaking. Okay, so if you are a beginner or you don't know like what is meaning of competitors and what the competitors they are referring to, right? So attract customers. Okay, so these are the keywords. I mean, like, so like, what features should the new smartwatch has to be outperform the competitors and attract the customers in the $150 price range. Okay, this is one of the business question, right? So for that, what is the next step? Okay, this is what the question is given to you. Okay, so the next is, of course, you need to have the data, right? So we're going to collect the data from various sources like sales reports, right, customer review, and the competitor analysis. Okay, very important, you can see the competitor analysis. Okay, so whatever the step you're going to take, okay, so we need to do the analysis first. Okay, generally, see, even if you're purchasing something, okay, so we have that inbuilt, right? So if you're purchasing some iPhone or whatever you're purchasing from Amazon, we generally go and check like what are the reviews, what is happening. We do basic analysis. Okay, we don't know like we are doing analysis, but generally we ask our friends, right? So this is what the basic analysis we are doing it. Okay, so the next step is the get data, right? So we'll have the analysis first. Okay, so you do the competitor analysis, you get the data, just gather data from various sources. Okay, so is what the meaning of get data here is, right? Like here, like, what are the top selling smart watches on the Amazon? Okay, so what are their average ratings and the reviews? Okay, I have not answered the question, but I'm just framing a question so that I've just splitted that into multiple chunks, right? So getting the data is the next step, right? So once we are there, we're going to explore the data, right? So we're going to understand the data to uncover the patterns and anomalies. Okay. So what is meaning of anomalies? What is meaning of anomalies? Have you heard about anomalies? Generally, it comes in the fraud detections, right? Okay, you are in India. Suddenly, your card is swiped in Australia. Okay. Okay. So your bank will, yeah. So your bank will just block your card, right? Some abnormalities is happening, right? Yeah, so explore the data, right? So we have business question, so we're gonna get the data, right? So we're gonna do the then finally we do explore the data, right? So this is what we have. Okay, next, so what is the next thing? Prepare the data, right? So we're gonna clean that, because here whatever the data we're getting it, okay, so generally, see, this is one of the scenarios, okay, but so whatever the data you're getting from the sites, okay, so I may show you one good example. Okay, so already have just opened that. Have you heard about the Shopify? Like, have you people seen the Shopify? Have you used Shopify? Anyone know like what is Shopify and have you used before? If not, please try to create like an account. Okay, for the learning. Okay, yes, right. See here, this is my example. What a website. I mean, like, so here you can see the shopping carts and everything. Okay, and so Shopify, so here you can see all your reports and analytics basically. Okay, so you can see the clicks and whatever happening is, right? So you can just see, so here, of course, this analytics is inbuilt. I mean, like, if you're using the Shopify, so this kind of analytics you're getting it. So not only Shopify, I mean, like, if you're using the Google ads, right? So this is the Google ads. If you have you have used, I mean, like, if you have some business or you have given some ads in the Google, right? You can do the basic, you can see the basic dashboarding in their websites. I mean, like, so what is happening, there are a lot of parameters. Okay, so many parameters. Okay, so there is a separate courses for this. Okay, if you want to understand the Google ads, again, it's a separate course, right? So similarly for the Meta, right? So if you have used Meta before, I just wanted to show you like how it looks. Okay. Yeah, ads managers. Okay. So Meta. Okay. So similarly, we have for the for the TikTok. Okay, TikTok ads. Okay, there are many things. Right. So here you can see like all the campaigns. Okay, we generally call this as campaigns. Okay, like campaigns. Like, what is the clicks? Okay, there are so many things. Okay, there are inbuilt, I mean, like, analytics which are doing it here. Okay, so why I'm explaining this, because in this example, whatever the slides I have just shown you right now, right? So here, the getting the data can be anything. Okay, in case if you have small startup and you have the website, assume like you're using the Shopify website, and you'll be getting the data from the Shopify also, right? So or you have just build the website from very scratch. Okay, you are using the front end, I mean like HTML, CSS, JavaScript. At the back end you're using Python or whatever it is, and you're dumping the data in the database, right? So that could be also a a place where you're getting the data. Or like Google ads, okay, or Meta ads, you're running the ads. Okay, now you're understanding like getting the data is not so easy. I mean like there are different schemas. Okay, so if you're getting the data from the Shopify, so they have the own table structure, they have own schemas. And if you even you're running the ads in the Meta, okay, so they have their own schema structures, their own tables, okay, all parameters, their own difference. I mean like own they have their own columns and different. I mean like, it's not same, right? So in the Google ads, in the Meta, it's totally different thing, right? So similarly, if you are just running your ads in some other social media platforms, okay, again their schema structure is different. Okay, and the data that is the website is generating, the again it's a totally different data, right? So the getting the data, it's very complex. I mean like when you say like I want to do the total sales analysis, so you have the data getting from the ads, okay, the data getting from the Meta ads, okay, data getting from the TikTok ads, then Shopify, okay. So it's just in scenarios, okay. Even assume like you're getting the data from the SQL server or other databases, okay. So there are a lot of things, okay. So getting the data is again a huge challenge. Of course, like these pipelines will not be doing it, okay. Data engineers will be working on this ETL concepts and everything, but you should be aware of these concepts, okay. So when I say get the data, it's not so simple. And in the real time when you're performing it, you'll face a lot of challenges in terms of schemas, okay. Getting the data from multiple sources and tell that this is a total sales is very difficult, okay. So if I'm saying, okay, what the total says is not so easy, okay. Yes, of course, if you're using the CSV, Excel, okay, that's what generally we learn, right? But real time, it's not Excel or CSV, okay, trust me, okay. So whenever you're working, trust me, it's not Excel or CSV, okay. So there are a lot of things except Excel and CSV, okay. So getting the data is very complex, fine. So getting the data, so they're going to explore the data. So because I told like the schema structures are different, okay, you need to do a lot of transformations, you need to write multiple custom logics, okay. So preparing the data, okay. So when I say preparing, okay, so I told one of the scenarios, okay. Assume like now we will stick to Google ads and the Facebook ads, okay. You're running your ads in both of this, okay. So now I want to understand like how my product is performing, like what are the total number of sales, okay. So when I say total number of sales, you can't say like Google ads this much sales or Facebook ad this much sales, okay. I want end report, okay. So in such scenarios, of course, you should have the knowledge of data modeling, okay. So how to get the data from those both sources and how to combine it, right? So a lot of transformations and logics which you need to do it, right? So that's what the meaning of preparing the data or exploring the data means, okay. So in during that process, you're going to clean, you're going to transform, you'll do a lot of things, right? So finally we're going to analyze, okay. So once you have that structure, then you can do whatever it is, right? So you can just build reports and plotting the charts, graphs, you easily can do that, right? And finally we're going to present that findings, in terms of PPTs or in terms of reports, right? So this is how the flow is, right? You're getting my point? So when I say like business question, get the data, explore the data, prepare data, analyze data, and present findings. Any doubts in this process? Please ask me if you have any doubts, okay. I'm pausing for 1 or 2 minutes. If you have any doubts, please let me know. Understanding? Yes. All clear, Adil? Okay. All clear? Yes. Shall I proceed? Thumbs up, please. And trust me, like everyone who has joined is important for me. Okay. So if you have any doubts, okay, feel free to send me in the chat. Okay. Send me in the chat. Okay. Anything is fine. Okay. Just give me 2 minutes. Okay. Just 2 minutes. I'll be back. Just 2 minutes. Yeah. Sorry. Okay. All right. Fine. So let's start. Let's proceed. Okay. Yeah. So now during this process, now let's break down and understand the tools. Because at each and every step, okay, even we need to know like when I say like business questions, okay, during the framing the business questions, like how it looks, okay, what are the tools is being used, right? So when I say like during getting the data, okay, what are different tools we're gonna use in real time? Why for the exploration, for presenting the data, right? So we're gonna see in terms of tools also. Yes. I'm back. Okay, just let me know. I'm audible, right? Uh, 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 all right. All right. Thanks. Okay. Okay. Okay, so in terms of tools, okay, so now let's break down. Okay, so let's start with the business question. Okay, so of course there are n number of applications in the market. Okay, like in terms of collaboration tools or documentation tools or project management tools. Okay, so when I say like define the business problem or opportunities to address, so this happens generally through many meetings, right? Of course there are a lot of collaboration tools in the market like Slack, okay, Microsoft Teams. Okay, if you're a student or if you're already working professional, I hope you know like what is Teams, right? So generally in schools they use Teams, okay, for any online classes, and even in most of the companies they use Teams, okay, for the communication, for the meetings and stuff, right? So we have the Notion. Okay, so it's very good collaboration tools where you can just keep track of for each and every step, right? We have documentation tools, okay, apart from Google Docs. Okay, this is what we generally use, but we have a Confluence. Okay, so this kind of documentation tools are widely used in real time. Okay, so whenever they want to share something, okay, they'll not use Google Docs, okay, because Google is just a product. Okay, when you have like other companies like Amazon, or they of course they'll not use the Google products. Okay, so they may take some third party, okay, or they may have their own documentation tools, right? The project management tools, Jira, okay, Trello. Okay, Jira is also popular, so they use to manage all the projects, right? So these are the tools which is used in the business questions. Okay, so of course, so I'm not telling you to learn Google Docs, but you'll get an idea like this is how the business questions is formed. I mean, like this is what the various tools that is being used in the real time. Yes. Okay, so next, that's from here, that's where our job is, right? So get the data. Okay, so when I say get data, again it's a different topic. Okay, so when I say get data, so here we are talking about ETL or ELT. Okay, any idea like what is ETL or ELT? Have you people heard about like ETL or ELT? Yeah, what is meaning of ETL or ELT? No idea. Okay. Okay, so when I say get data, okay, so when I say get data, there are a lot of things. Okay, so let me just explain now in simple terms. Okay, so we have something called ETL. Okay, yeah, so we have something called uh, ETL. Okay, so we have something called EL and T. Okay, so here E stands for extract. I mean, like the full form is extract. Okay, so T stands for transform. Okay, and L stands for load. Okay, so sorry for my bad handwritings. Okay, again here it's the same thing. Okay, so here we have extract, but the process is different. Okay, so here we perform ETL. I'll tell, okay, what is this, and here we have ELT. Okay, first we have extract here. Okay, so here we have first extract. Okay, see, right now I'm talking about the get data. Okay, so when I say get data, so how it works, I mean, like so what are tools wise I'll explain, okay, what is get data, but let me explain the process. Okay, so here ETL stands for extract, transform and load, and ELT stands for extract, load and transform. Okay, extract, load and transform. Okay, so what is meaning of this extract? Okay, because I showed you some of the examples, right? Assume like you have your website. Okay, you're a startup owner, you have your website. Okay, so products, let's take a store, I mean like store as an example, because we'll have so many things to, I mean like to explain. Okay, when I take e-commerce examples. Okay, so assume this is a store. Okay, we have cards, we have products, we have everything. Okay, so of course this is a website. Okay, it's our own website. So of course the data that is being generated by this particular website is being stored in some databases. Okay, assume this is my databases, right? So parallel, I told, like assume like even we have what the ads running. Okay, so we have so many things. Okay, that's totally different thing. But apart from this website, even we have the data that is being stored in the form of CSVs or Excel. Okay, so any JSON data. Okay, different types of data. Okay, so whenever I say like I want to perform the analysis or to get the data, so you need to think of getting the data from the data source. See, when I say data source, there are n number of data sources in the market. Okay, so for example, so before getting into it, see, there are a lot of technical terms. Okay, so generally how I tell is, so for example, if I'm talking about ETL, I'm talking about ETL right now, right? So I started with the get data. So now I'm just connected with the ETL, and within the ETL there are so many n number of concepts. Okay, so at the end you will understand everything once I complete the entire flow. Okay, so please make a note of this and please concentrate. Fine. Okay, so I told about the ETL, right? So ETL stands for extract, transform, and the load. So when I mean to say extract, okay, so I'm generally talking about getting the data from the data source. So these are all the data sources. Okay, so the data that is being coming from the website, of course, that is stored in the databases. Okay, so like OLTP systems, we call this as a online transaction processing systems. I'll explain this because this is the first class. I don't want to make it more complicated. Assume this is a database, okay, or data warehouse. Okay, database or data warehouse. So in simple terms, this is where the data is being stored in terms of rows and columns. If you don't know what is database and data warehouse, that's fine. Just think of the data that is being stored in the form of rows and columns, right? And apart from that, we have the CSV data, Excel data, JSON data, or the data that is being coming from any of the ads. Okay, so the data sources can be anything, right? So now to extract this data, okay, in the market, I mean in the real time, we generally call this as a connectors. Okay, we generally call this as a connectors. Okay, to perform this ETL, we have a tools in the market. Okay, so for example, I want to do the extract. Okay, I want to do the extraction. I want to get the data from all these data places. So we have a connectors in the market. Okay, I mean like in the ETL tools. So what are ETL tools? I'll just name a popular one. Like we have the Informatica. Okay, so Informatica is a popular tool, ETL tool. So if you are using the Informatica, you can perform the extraction. So within the Informatica, you can find n number of connectors. What is connectors? The place from where you get the data. Like it could be databases, or it could be any of the sources. Like you can just get the CSV data, you can get the Excel data, right? So in simple terms, if I just show you the Power BI, okay, so just to make you understand like how the connectors look, right? So if I just open my Power BI desktop, so here also they provide a place from where you can just get the data, right? So let me just open the Power BI, and even I'll just show you one of the online based ETL tool. So we have something called a Fivetrain. Okay, so Fivetrain is a cloud based ETL. Okay, so when I say cloud based ETL, so it helps us to get the data. Can you see here? Extract, load, and transform. Sorry, it's ELT. First we're extracting it, and finally we're going to load that. But here also we have the concept of connectors. Can you see? Fivetrain connectors. So what is connectors? So there are 500 data sources connectors. What is data source? It's a place from where we get the data. Okay, can you see? So these are the data sources. So in real time, so we have all this what a connectors. Okay, so you can see Adobe products. Okay, so all these connectors, even you can see in the Power BI. Okay, let me just go to the Power BI. If I go to the blank report, okay, no need to do anything. Okay, just concentrate. Okay, so we have get data section. Can you see data sources? Of course, we will not call connectors in the data sources, sorry, in the Power BI. We generally call this as a data source. You can see Excel is all can be one of the data source. Data flows. Okay, SQL server, because this is a Microsoft product. You can see the SQL. So all the services from where the data is being generated in the Microsoft products, you can see all those things here. Okay, you can get the data from web. And when you click on more, okay, so here you can see the n number of data sources. Can you see files, okay, with respect to the databases? Okay, SQL server, MySQL, Amazon Redshift, okay, Snowflake, okay, Amazon Athena, okay, lot many things. Okay, so these are the Microsoft specific services. Like if you're getting to Azure, so these are the Azure related services from where you can get the data. Okay, so I'm just showing you one of the examples. Okay, so the similarly, like Fivetran is also a ETL ELT product. Okay, it's a cloud based, so just you need to register and start using it. So here also we have n number of connectors, right? So if you just go and check Informatica, okay, so because Informatica is also ETL tool, if I say Informatica connectors, okay, so you'll find the n number of connectors. What is connectors? It's a data source, okay, from where I can just get the data. So each and every companies, I mean like ETL companies, so they're gonna provide you something called connectors from where you can just get the data. Okay, so this is what the meaning of extraction. Okay, so how you do extraction using the ETL tool. So what are the ETL tools? Informatica, Fivetran, we have Microsoft SSIS. Okay, so we have Talent. Okay, there are n number of ETL tools in the market. Yes, getting it? Okay, I'm just talking only about the extraction. Okay, when I say extraction, even though you're not understanding, if you're a beginner, hold on, because we'll be doing that hands on later on. But this is all theoretical. I hope I'm explaining in very simple terms. Okay, should be, I mean, like when I say like you have some business. Okay, so if you want to get the data, so data can be of any format. If this small business will try to write everything in the CSV or Excel format, right? But in the real time, of course, no one keeps in CSV or Excel. You'll have the like chunk of data, or some data, but in real time the data will be in the databases, or the data that is coming from the websites, right? So this is what the scenarios will be in the real time. Yes, understood the extract and the concept of what is meaning of connectors when I say like connectors, or when I say like ETL. Okay, only the extract part. Transform I'll tell. Okay, yes. Okay, so get data section, because in this slide, okay, so I was talking about the get data, right? So in the get data, where is that slide? Huh. So in the get yeah, so in the get data, can you see like I have listed a number of tools here? I mean, like here you can see like ETL is one of the tool. Okay, we have Talent, we have Fivetran, we have Apache services. I mean, like so it's we are dealing with the big data, right? Informatica, so then cloud storage. Okay, so these are the places from where you collect the data, or collect the data. Okay, so when I say get data, collect the data from various data sources such as databases, APIs, right, or external files. Yes, so I'm in this step now. Okay, because we got to know what is business questions and how generally it looks, and even we have seen like what are the tools that is being used, and then we have the get data section. Okay, so these are the different places where we are getting the data. Yes, no replies, any doubts, guys? Just let me know. I mean, I have just explained only the extract part and the connectors part. Like when I say like ETL, what is meaning of E, I'm just explain what is meaning of E here. That's it. Yes, anything which I want to repeat, please let me know. I'll just repeat it. No doubt. Yes, thanks. Okay. What about others? Guys, please be interactive, or else you will feel bored. Okay, start typing something. Okay, I mean, like if anything, I know like it takes a few seconds to type, but generally we feel lazy. I mean, like to whenever someone is asking in the meetings. Okay, I mean, like is that okay, is all fine? Okay, so it is very difficult to tell S in the chat. Okay, I know, but please ask me, please, whenever I'm asking, please type it. Okay, because it's everything is virtual. I don't know, like I'm not able to see your faces. I don't know how you're watching the lectures. Okay, by sleeping, or someone may be lying, or I don't know, right? All clear? Yes. Can I have the quick rating out of 5? Fast. You can give me one also, that's fine. But I want some ratings, so that I'll just see like where I'm standing. Type it 5. Okay, thanks, Shivani. Okay, Jwala is giving me T out of range. Okay, Pinky 5.5. Okay, thanks. Of course, I'm not your, I mean, like lecturer where I can just cut your marks later on. It's not like that. Okay, and just give me the rating. Even I don't know, like I'm able to see only your names, right? So generally, like whenever we are in colleges, okay, so we generally talk good about the mentors. I mean, like, but we know like what is what is what actually we feel is totally different thing, right? So here, of course, it's not that scenario. So I can't. We don't have any kind of exams here. Okay, where I can just cut your marks. Okay, you can just feel free. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, thanks. There'll be one, at least one or two who can give me one also. But maybe like I'll read the names if they are not typing it. Anyways, thanks. Okay, if genuinely it is 4.55, I'm happy. That's thank you so much. Okay, so Karan has some question. Okay, let me just take that and then we'll proceed. Okay. Okay, 4.8. Thanks. Okay, could you suggest some project ideas and data that could be good for applying for the roles like business analyst, data analyst, or business analyst? I'm looking for an idea, so on the man can show skills of different industries. Yes, yes, sure. Okay, see, Karan, I hope even you, the getting the data is also one of the biggest challenge. Okay, you'll get a data. Okay, we have Kaggle, we have various places. Okay, you'll get the data, but the problem is, so that data generally most of the time it's a clean data, because whatever the data you see in the public domain, okay, so it's just clean data, and whatever the records you're going to see there, right? I mean, like we'll have the less number of records, okay, but you'll not have the records in the millions. You'll have that, but it's not, you don't have any, I mean, like the data set that is coming from the multiple domains, okay. Hardly you'll be getting the data, sales data everywhere you'll find the sales data, okay. So even you can generate that, you'll have the data in the millions also. I'll share it, okay, don't worry. So we'll be doing the projects, that's what. So in this course I'm focusing more on getting in the real time aspects, okay, because uh, I hope even you have seen the same Excel part, okay, same dragging, dropping, calculating the sum, okay. Even I'm fed up of that seeing, and even I hope even you haven't seen that, right? Excel is not just calculating the see a sum, or doing the correlations, or just doing some building personal what expenses charts, right? So apart from that, we're gonna bring some good projects, okay. Trust me, okay. We'll do that, okay. So Karan, just give me some time, okay. So maybe next class you'll get a more clarity when we start some usage of the tools, like when you start with the Excel, we'll start working with the projects, okay. Of course, the step by step. So even I may give the same personal dashboard to start, because that's a start, right? So because I can't directly tell you to create something, okay, which is extraordinary. So the start process will be similar, but we'll build on that as we proceed. Yeah, Adil, thanks. You gave 4.5, and there always room for improvement. Yes, yes, thanks. All right. Thank you so much, guys. Okay. Yeah. So I was talking about the ETL process, right? So here, when I say get the data, so getting the data from the various data sources, and the data sources can be anything, right? So I was explaining here, right? So this is what the data sources is, right? So next we have the transform, okay. So I'll not repeat multiple times, because when I say extract or get data source, you should remember this is what the data source is, because so this is an introductory class. I'm stressing many times this is what the data source is, this is what the meaning of extract is. So going forward, I'll just tell extract, I'll tell data source. So you should be able to connect what is data source, okay. You should think of, okay, this is all the n number of data sources we have the market, okay. In real time, it's all about the even it includes the ads application like Google ads, Meta ads, okay. There are n number of, okay. You can just think we have a 300 plus, okay. So generally if you use any of the ETL tools, you'll find 300 plus connectors, okay. Everything, okay. 300 plus connectors, okay. So getting the data, or when I say data sources or extract, this is what it means. And how to do that, we have ETL tools for that, okay. Like Informatics is ETL tool, so I can just use this extraction, connecting that and getting the data, like Power BI. So of course Power BI is not a ETL tool, but I can get the data from the data source, okay, to do some kind of analysis, right? Okay, so it's not ETL tool. It's not meant for the ETL. Okay, so you may be thinking, okay, why we're getting the data here in Power BI? No, so almost in all the applications you can see this get data section, right? So from where you can get the data, but it's not an ETL tool. It's a BI tool. It's meant for the reporting. So similarly, Informatics is not a BI tool. It's a ETL tool. It's meant for the extraction. Okay. So transformation. So again, I'm telling. So when I say transformation, just think of cleaning it. Okay. So we'll stress more on the transformation when we start with actual tool usage. Okay, like Excel. So they will learn like what are different types of transformation you see in the real time. Okay. So generally we see like if I want to explain transformation for any beginner, I can say like renaming the columns, or changing from uppercase to lowercase, or removing the blank spaces, right? So lightweight transformations, I can just do it. So when I say I want to do all these things, I can do the transformation in the various ways. I can use Excel to do that, right? I can use Power Query, even I can use Power BI, I can use SQL, I can use Python, okay. I can use any of the programming languages to do that, okay. So always whenever I say like something that can be done in the multiple ways, okay. Again, completely depends on the company what they're using it. Okay, so you need to think of in that manner, okay. So don't think, okay, don't stick. Some people think, okay, so when I say cleaning, okay, so this is what the cleaning is only done in the Python. No, okay, you can do the same job in n number of ways, right? But trust me, the concept will remain same, okay. So when I say like I want to split make uppercase to lowercase, okay, so in Python there could be some functions, okay. If you're using Power Query, there are just button clicks, just click the button, uppercase, it will change from lower to upper. When you're using Informatica, there are some functions in the Informatica. If you're using Fivetran, some functions in the Fivetran, right? So what you need to learn, you need to learn the transformation, okay. So why we need to do the transformation, okay. So here I'm just talking in simple terms, okay. I'm like cleaning on all those things, but we'll see real time transformations, okay. When I say transformation, you have the bad data, and I want you to answer some business problem. You need to convert the data in a such a way that so that that business question can be answered through that, okay. So that's what the transformation means, okay. But right now I just think of like cleaning the data, okay. So next is loading, okay, because once we are done with all those things, so we of course I need to store somewhere, right? So I'll be storing the data in the data warehouses. Okay, so I'll tell like why I'm telling data warehouses, not databases. Okay, when I say databases, I am generally referring to the RDBMS or NoSQL. Okay, so where the data could be structured or unstructured, but the databases is OLTP systems. Okay, so this is the second assignment for you. For the next class, I want you to just do some basic research. Okay, so what is OLTP and OLAP? Okay, so I'm just writing this down. I'll explain this in the next class, but so this second assignment, I want you to just do just understand what is meaning of OLTP and OLAP and the differences between the database. I'm going to explain this in the next class, but I want you to explore this. Okay, database and the data warehouse. Okay, so data warehouse, and along with that even just see like what is the meaning of data lake. Okay, so what is meaning of data lake? Okay, fine. So just try to do some research again, just find like what are the databases we have in the market, what are the data warehouses. Fine. Okay, so what is meaning of load? So after doing the transformation, I need to load somewhere. So where I'm loading? I'm loading in the data warehouse. Okay, and from data warehouse I'm connecting these BI tools to that warehouse and building the reports. Okay, so by saying it's very simple, okay, get the data, do transformation, building it, but when it comes to hands-on and project, of course there are a lot of challenges. Okay, so here it looks very simple. Okay, just get the data, we have just doing cleaning and finally building the report, but there are a lot of things at the back end. Okay, fine. So this is the flow. Okay, if you understand this flow, like of course in the longer run it will be helpful for you. Okay, so you'll not stuck. I mean like because whenever you're learning something, people doesn't know why they're doing it. Okay, so I'm just stressing this in detail so that you need to understand why we're doing this. Okay, when I say like we are learning Power BI, they're using Power BI, but they don't know what is happening in the Power BI, right? So they are using Excel. So I want this connectivity. So I'm just repeatedly telling. Okay, when I say transformation, so transformations can be happening in any of the tool. So even we can done that in the Excel, we can do that in the SQL also, we can do that in the Power BI also. Okay, when I say transformation, so you need to think that scenarios. I mean like the case studies. Okay, when company is asking you to do some kind of analysis, okay, but there is no analyst in their company, you are the first one who's being hired. So they need to make the decisions. Okay, yeah. So this we need to use this tool because whenever you're working in company, even we do the cost. I mean like we think of the cost, right, and the efficiency. Okay, assume like there's a startup. Okay, they can't afford this kind of ETL tools. Okay, of course they'll have the pricing. So you need to think, okay, can we do this with this data? Can we do that in Excel? Okay, is it feasible? Okay, can we do the analysis using the Excel or the Python or some Python scripts? Okay, so this is what you need to think of. Yes. Okay, so this is what the meaning of extract, transform, and load. Yeah, Vijay, we'll be doing the Tableau. I'll let you know, okay, because either it's Power BI, Tableau, both are same thing. Don't worry, okay, we'll do it, Vijay, okay. Let's see like if we can start with the Tableau, because I'm not starting the Tableau because if you are using the Tableau for first time, I mean like for the beginner it is little bit hard to understand. Okay, the kind of interface thing. Okay, so here it's very simple. I mean like comparable to Tableau. Let's see. Okay, but anyways we are going to cover that first or the last, but we'll have the Tableau. Fine. Okay, Vijay. Yes. Okay, so Adil asking my favorite tool. What if my favorite tool is like I can say Power BI. Okay, all right. So this is what the meaning of ETL. Okay, so what is ELT here? So again it's the same thing, extraction. Okay, but instead of transforming it after loading it, I'm load first, then I'm going to transform it. I mean like I'm going to get the data from the data sources, so directly I'll just dump it somewhere. Okay, I'm going to dump that data uh, um I'm going to dump that data into data warehouse. And finally, from there, I'm going to do the transformations. Okay. So we have the ETL tools and ELT tools. Okay. So like Fivetran, they're referring to ELT. Okay. Because what Fivetran does is it's cloud based. It's going to extract the data. It's going to load in the data warehouse. Again, from there, we can do the transformations. Okay. So ETL is extracting, then do the transformation during the process and finally load it. And these transformations, even we can do in the Informatica also. Okay. Like ETL tools also provide the transformations. If you're using the SSIS, okay, we have something called SSIS. It's a SQL Server Integration Service. Okay, we have SSAS, SQL Server Analytical Service. Okay, RS Reporting Service. All these are the services provided by the Microsoft. So SSIS is specifically meant for getting the data. I mean, like to perform the extraction. Okay, and even you can do the transformations within that. Fine. So this is what the meaning of ETL. So why I'm explaining all these things? Because here, when I say get data, there are a lot of things. Okay, and now you should connect it. Okay, when I say like get the data, so we need to collect the data from the various sources such as databases, APIs, or any external files. All right. Okay, so here we have databases like MySQL, Postgres, okay, MongoDB, Oracle, Snowflake. Okay, Snowflake is a data warehouse. A BigQuery is a GCP, right? It's a data warehouse. We can get the data from APIs like Postman. Okay, again the SQL, you can write the SQL scripts. We can use the ETL tools to get the data like Talent, Fivetran, okay, Informatica. So cloud storage is a place where the data is stored like AWS S3, Azure Blob. Okay, so all these are get data section. Right, so next is explore data. Okay, so when I say explore data, all the cleaning, understanding the patterns, finding the trends, okay, answering the business questions, okay, can be done in the explore data section, right? Okay. Okay, so what are the pros and cons? Okay, so Adil is asking like what is the advantages of pros of using the ELT and ETL? It completely depends on the use cases and case studies. Okay, if you are asking like, see, it depends on the data which you're getting it. Okay, so for example, assume like you are getting the data from IoT sensors. Okay, now I'm asking you, think. Okay, so there are data that is being generated every second. Is it possible to transform it and load it, or it is a good strategy to load and later transform? Yeah, Adil, please tell me. Assume like there is IoT data that is being generated, IoT sensors. Okay, so I'm collecting the sensors data. Okay, so is it a good strategy to do extract? Okay, extraction is happening. Is it a good strategy to do transform first or load it, or load and then do transform? Yeah, anyways, you got the answer, but Adil, yes. What about others? Can you just people can you just tell me like what could be the good strategy? You people understood, right? So we have a sensors, okay. So I'm just getting the sensors data. So is it which is a good strategy? I need to do ELT or ETL? Anyways, I'm performing there extraction. So first I need to do load and do the transform, or I'm like in the fly, I mean like whenever I'm getting the data, because T means transforming. Okay, whatever the data I'm coming into my tools, I need to transform that and load it. Okay, or I need to load first somewhere and then do the transform. So it could be the good strategy in this scenario. Okay, if I have the IoT sensors data. Yes, Adil. Is it okay like your this thing? Okay, it's not right or wrong, you can just tell me like whatever you feel. First load, and that's good, right? Yeah, first we're going to load it because we know it's a big data. Okay, see, when I say big data, we have three V's there, right? We're talking about the velocity, we are talking about the variety, we are talking about we have three V's, right? What are the three V's? Velocity, we have volume. Yeah, volume, right? It completely depends on the strategy or the case studies, or it completely depends on like what you're building it, right? So if it is big data, of course, is a very bad strategy to transform it. We have such tools, okay? If you're using the cloud services, so you can do the transformations on the fly also. I mean, like there are in the Azure, we have a very good services, okay? Even in the AWS, there are very good services where you can perform the real-time analytics. Okay, so all these things happening, I mean, like transformations can happen even that milliseconds also. Okay, latency can be very less. Okay, I hope I have answered it. Okay, it completely depends. Okay, so like what are advantages, disadvantage completely depends on like whatever I've just told you. Okay, first load, yes, first we load, then we do it. All right. Yeah. So during the exploration, right? So we have various tools again. So I'm repeating once again. So we can explore that whatever the data I'm getting in the various ways. So I can use Excel for that, right? Anyways, we're going to learn that in our course also, like Excel. We're going to extract, like we'll learn how to perform, how to get the data in the Excel. So how to clean that, okay? How to find the patterns, okay? So when I say patterns or trends, we are talking about the statistics here somewhere, okay? So there are kind of some kind of strategies, okay, business understandings, okay. So that is all mathematical in terms of statistics. Okay, we're going to learn that of course when we start with the course, okay, like Excel specifically. We can use the Python, right, to do the transformations. There are many libraries in the Python like matplotlib, okay, cborn, okay, we can plot the distributions and everything. So this is with respect to, I mean, like real time, I mean, like for the learning, okay, even in the real time they're going to use it, okay. So it completely depends on the use cases again, fine. And even we can do the exploration using the Power BI, okay. We have Power Query which is integrated with the Power BI also, so we can transform the data using the Power Query, right? So this is what the so that's what you can see here, right? So we can perform the initial data exploration to understand the patterns, distributions, and anomalies, right? So like these are the tools like Jupyter Notebooks, okay, Google Colab, Microsoft Excel. If you're using Python specifically, then we have Pandas, okay. Then visualization tools like Tableau, Power BI, Matplotlib, okay. So exploring the data can happen in the anything, okay. Preparing the data, okay. So when I say preparing, so cleaning, all these things are done, okay. So every time when I say explore and prepare, you just combine it, okay, because generally we're doing the same things. I'm like just next to next, okay. So once you're cleaning and everything is done, so we're going to prepare it for an analysis, okay, like cleaning, processing, organizing the data, handling the missing values and inconsistencies, okay. So during this transformations, okay, we have the DBT tool, okay. So this course is recently added in Euron, okay, if you checked. So where DBT stands now, so DBT stands at the transformation level, okay. Because once the data is extracted, so when the data is basically loaded into data warehouse and I want to transform that, okay, I want to do the cleaning, I want to build something, okay, I want to change the raw data into some good data so that I can do the analysis on that, okay. So DBT is one of the tool, you're getting it. So this course is already added in the Euron now, right? So you can learn the DBT, because once you understand this, I mean, like there's various tools. If you know the DBT, it's added advantage for your in your resume, I mean, like right. Which course related to DBT and Neuron? DBT and Neuron, there also, I think whatever we update in the Euron, it's updated one. I mean, like the DBT course, okay, in the Euron platform. In the iNeuron also, we have the DBT. It's the same course which I have just recorded. So I mean, like I think it's been 3 years back, right? So whatever we have updated in the Euron, it's newly recorded. Okay, it's called DBT. So what is DBT now? So DBT is a data build tool which is used for the transformations. So now if you just go and check, okay, so just type DBT tool. So now you should be able to connect, okay. So if I just show you the architecture here, okay, so you can see, so this is where the DBT is standing, right? Yeah, so this is the way DBT is standing. Can you see here? If I just open this only the image part. Can you see here? Raw data. Same story, guys. Okay. So whatever the pipelines you're seeing, right? So you'll find the same story. Okay. Raw data, transform and load. Okay. Whatever the architecture. I'll show that. Okay. So even if you're dealing with the complex also, you'll feel the same pipelines. Okay. Everywhere. Okay. So you have the raw data. Okay. Getting the data. So you can see DBT standing here. Okay. So you can see the data warehouses here, right? So this data, we're gonna get the data. For example, I'm now connecting with the Fivetrain. So what is Fivetrain? Fivetrain is a cloud-based ETL tool, right? So Fivetrain will just extract the data from data sources. Okay, it will dump it into data warehouse like Snowflake. So I'll connect the Snowflake with the DBT to do the transformations. Okay, so this is how the pipeline looks, and even I can connect the BI tools, okay, so to perform the reports, right? So we have the raw data, and in the using the DBT I can develop, we have something called DBT models, okay. We're gonna write the scripts, okay. It's all about the SQL here also, okay. We're gonna test and document, and finally we're gonna deploy that, okay. So we deploy the models, okay. So all the transformation logics, okay. So when I say transformation logics, it's just a data, clean data from where you can just do the analysis. That's what I mean. Okay. And finally, we have the BI tools from where I can connect it and even do the visualizations and all those things. All right. Okay. So Vijay is asking like how we can load more than 1 GB of CSV file in Excel or using the Python. Yeah. The already answer is shared, I guess, Vijay. Okay. You can just check that. Okay. Anyways. Got it. So I was referring to DBT tools here, right? Yeah. So again, you can see the same talent is the ETL tool. Here also we can prepare the data. Even you can use Informatica to prepare the data. Pandas, okay. So it's a Python libraries. Okay. So almost you can see some repetitive tools here. Okay. So here we have again ETL tools. So we can prepare the data using the ETL tools as well, right? So here what we do, we clean, we reprocess. Okay. We're gonna organize the data and handling the missing values. Okay. So this is what we're gonna do in the prepare step. Okay, I hope you remember this thing, right? This process. Okay, we know like what are tools, so now you should be very comfortable with like what are tools, what we are doing in that each and every step. Okay, so what is business question, what is getting the data means, what is meaning of exploration, what is meaning of preparing data, because I've just broken down into different layers, and I'm explaining what tools we are using here at each and every step, right? So tomorrow you should not tell, okay, can we do cleaning in the ETL tool? Okay, we can do it. Okay, okay. So these all things. I hope you are getting the whatever I'm trying to explain. Okay, preparing the data, finally analyzing the data. I've not added any of them because it's just the same repetitive like whatever you have seen so far. Okay, so like we have analytic tools. Okay, like Python, use Python. Okay, SAS, we have MATLAB. Okay, or analyzing the data. Okay, can just use any of the tools here just to perform the analysis. Again, finally presenting the findings. Okay, when I say presenting, so here should show your design skills also, right? So here we have all the visualization tools like Tableau, we have Power BI, right? So we have Google Data Studio, Microsoft PowerPoint. Okay, so we can use the Google Slides. Okay, so dashboarding. Okay, Click View. Okay, it's very popular. Even this is basically widely used. Okay, Superset. Okay, Grafana. Okay, these are the this is how you present the data once you're done with the entire process. Okay, so if our question, if we have some business problem, so this is how we start. Okay, we're gonna get the data. To get the data, so we use some ETL tools, so we can write some scripts. Okay, so after getting it, I can do the transformations, cleaning, and finally I'll gonna load somewhere, and from there I'm gonna build the reports. Okay, and whatever the architectures you're gonna see will have the same flow. All right, any doubts guys so far, please let me know in chat. And maybe in today's class you'll not have a chance to raise your hand, and ask the question. So maybe in the next class you'll get a chance to connect with me, and you can ask me the doubts. Okay, all right. So if I just go and check, okay, so data analytics pipelines. Okay, so just go and search in the images, and whatever the pipelines you're going to see. Okay, so everywhere it's the same stories. Okay, capture or extract, same thing. Okay, process, store, analyze, use. Okay, so a big data pipeline, extract. Okay, load somewhere and do whatever you want. Building the data science projects, or you want to integrate something as AI applications. Okay, you can do everything, of course, after getting the data, right? You can see data sources, data ingestion systems. Okay, here we have, so like see, whenever again there are different tools. So if you want to have something like in the real time, like you need to get the data in terms of streams. Okay, we have Kafka for that, right? uh, uh, that is totally different thing, but yeah, we can do that, right? But overall same thing, we're getting the data, doing the data pre-processing system, storage and visualization. Okay, so let's see here, can see source data, RDBMS systems. Okay, flat files. Okay, streaming data. Okay, so we're gonna store that. Okay, so data lake or storage. So I have given you the assignment, you need to find what is meaning of database, data warehouses, and the data lake, and this we're going to discuss in the next class. Okay, and the data pre-processing, so we can use that using the ETL tools, and finally analytics and the BI. So we have the data visualizations of the BI, and even I can just use that data for my AI ML for any project, right? You're getting it, right? So just open whatever or complex architectures. Okay, you can find the same process everywhere. Okay, so yes. So if you're using everything in AWS services, so now if you're connecting with this cloud, okay, so we have the services for everything. Okay, for example, collecting the data. So I can specifically you want to learn the AWS. Okay, you need to know like Amazon S3. So it's a service where we can just store the data, right? Amazon Kinesis. Okay, which is helping us to get the sensors data, or sorry, real time data. Amazon Kinesis is one of the service. So then we have Amazon DynamoDB. Okay, so Amazon DynamoDB is NoSQL database. Okay, so which is help us to store the unstructured data like JSON. Okay, Amazon RDS. Okay, it's RDBMS systems. Okay, so here also you can just, it's one of the service where you can create RDBMS like MySQL, Postgres. Okay, so these are the data collection and storage. Then event processing. So of course when you're working in the real time, so there could be some kind of triggering events. Okay, So as soon as see and whatever we're going to learning here, right? So when I try to connect with the real time, so it's not static. I mean, like we have some data today and tomorrow will not have. It's not like that, right? The data is coming daily, right? So today you have some sales, tomorrow again you have some sales, again tomorrow again you need to predict something in the future, right? So everything is like a pipeline, okay? So everything has to be like orchestrated, okay? So even we have an orchestration tool like Airflow, right? So here also we have something called event processing services, okay, which needs to be triggered. I mean, like if today we have some 1 million data, again tomorrow there is a chance of that I'm getting a 2 million of data, okay? So that data has to be again pre-processed, or somewhere some events has to be get triggered, okay? So all these things are happening. So this is with respect to the cloud, okay? I'm just connecting with the cloud now, okay? Then finally we're gonna, these are the different services in the data processing, like Amazon EMR, machine learning, okay? Amazon Glue is a ETL tool, so ETL service in the AWS, like how I said, like Fitrain, Informatica is the ETL tools. Similarly, we have AWS Glue is one of the service in the AWS which is helping us to do the ETL thing, okay? And finally data analysis. So we are using the quick side. When are using the AWS products, we are not using, I mean, like here they're not using any Power BI Tableau, so they have their own in service called AWS quick site, so where you can just build the reports and everything. So if any company is adopting AWS as their I mean, like tech stack, so they have their everything, all the tech stack, all the services with respect to the AWS, okay? So again, see, so the learning has to be in a flexible manner, okay? If you're just learning only one tool and if you're stucking and you're looking for the job for Power BI, it's very difficult to crack it, guys, okay? You should be very flexible, you should learn multiple tools, but trust me, if you know one, you can easily switch to other, okay? For example, if any company is looking for as a data analyst or a business analyst in the, but they have the AWS tech stack, so these services you should not feel, I mean, like something new, right? Because it's the same process, but the services is different. So that's what you need to learn. I mean, like usage of the services, like how to create a bucket in AWS, like how to build a chart in AWS QuickSight, right? How to perform the ETL using AWS Glue. But if you know how to do that Informatica and Fivetran, so easily you can learn here in the AWS Glue. Okay, so this is what. So keep the learning flexible. Okay, don't stick. I mean, like I'm learning Excel, so I'll just learn Excel, SQL, and Power BI. I'll create a resume and start applying the jobs. You'll not get it. Okay, trust me. Okay, so once you're done with this thing, you need to connect that with the cloud. Okay, any one cloud. Okay, just master like either AWS, Azure, or a GCP, and from there you can just connect it, and this is how the learning has to be. Okay, don't worry. So in the course, I'll just guide you through each and every step, and we are starting with the Excel next week. Okay. All right, so this is how, right? Just see any of this pipeline, okay? So here also data is pipeline on the cloud, okay? This is with respect to the GCP, okay? So almost you can see the same thing, okay? Extraction, transformation, and loading, okay? So yes, got it, got an idea. So now I believe like you know what is the difference between the data analytics and the business analytics. Yes. Okay, so I've given you the first assignment. I want you to do a case studies. I mean, like, what are the business problems they're going to solve, like as a data analyst or a business analyst, right? And the next, I want you to understand like what is the databases and the data warehouses, and what are the popular data warehouses and the databases in the market, okay? And the data lake. Yes, so these are the two assignments. So come prepared next class. Okay, so we're gonna start not Excel because there are some few topics. So I don't want to start now because it will be the repetition and it will be boring for sure. Okay, so we take there are a lot many things. Okay, coming up, we'll take all the real time examples. Okay, and even you can do this task also. Okay, so what I can do is just get into the LinkedIn and search. Okay, so business analyst or the data analyst, okay, and just see like what are the roles and the responsibilities they're looking for. Okay, for example, business analyst in the Amazon. Okay, so just go and check like what is the job requirements. Okay, I've just added that. I've just added today itself. Okay, you can see. So there are 3+ area experience, but don't worry at all because here I'm just taken some randomly. Okay, business analyst 2. Okay, so it could be for some experienced people, like see 3+ years of experience of tax, finance, and related analytical field experience. Okay, so this is what the domain here is. You're getting it, like finance is a domain. Okay, so you should know. If you assume like you are in a health sector and you don't know anything about the finance, then it will be very difficult for you to crack the interview. Okay, uh, I'm not saying not get it, but it will be difficult because unless you don't know the domain knowledge, right? Then 5+ years of experience like Excel, okay, VBA, pivot tables, right? array functions, power pivots, right? Data visualization tools like Tableau Experience, fine. Experience defining the requirements and using the data and matrices to draw business insights. Experience with Excel, okay? So we are starting with Excel, so don't worry at all, fine. So job description for the business analyst. So what they're telling, so take so here I've just taken the snapshot, okay, from the LinkedIn itself. You can just explore that in naukri.com or whatever the platforms we have, okay. So here, so take on the critical role defining and realizing the fantastic solution process benefits and new opportunities to deliver to our stakeholders. You'll be working in the vibrant forward looking team and helping us to shape the future of our business. So they are trusting you guys, right? Okay. So you people will be shaping the future of their business, okay. Should be, that's what, okay, they're trusting that, that's what they want to hire such people, right? So it's great chance to hit the ground running, okay. Take advantage of our development opportunities, advance your careers. We are offering this role as an associate level, right? So these are the just see, okay, I'm just taking one image here, okay. Just go and explore it, okay. Just see like, are we learning, are we in the right track, okay. So I'm are we learning something which is not used in the industry? No. Okay, so whatever the syllabus we have planned and whatever we are teaching here, absolutely it's used in the real time, okay. So don't worry at all, okay. Just even just have a walkthrough of this, okay. Just go to LinkedIn and just try to see the job roles, okay, job descriptions and the tools, okay, what they're using it, okay. So please make a note of all those things, fine. Okay, so next class, yes, so we're going to start with the data and many other things, okay. And maybe in the second day of the next week, we can start with the Excel. Yes. So now, if you have any questions, please let me know in chat. Okay. Then we'll wrap up. Okay. Neeraj, how to take data, build tools, course. Neeraj, what I suggest is, yeah, don't take. If you're on plus now, you'll not understand because you need to have the understanding of the SQL, and so that course has some prerequisite. I mean, like you should know the SQL there, and some of the understanding of the detailed concepts. If you know that, you can start learning Neeraj. Okay, but if you're new, wait for some more time. Okay, so until we complete at least a databases concept like a SQL part, then you can just learn that. Okay. Okay, Neeraj. Yes, guys. So I'm open to questions. So if you have any questions, please let me know. And maybe next class you'll get a chance to unmute yourself and you can ask me the question. Okay. In finding section, we need to write our insights. Sorry, Pinky. Okay, so your name is Pinky. I don't know like what which section you're referring to. About the slides, don't worry. I'll be sharing that. Okay. So once, this will be available, made available in your dashboard. It's all good. Okay. Today we had a good introduction. Okay. Lot many things. Okay. We'll be spending 4 5 months together. Okay. So don't worry at all. Okay. So as I told you in the last class, hard work. Okay. And motivation and consistency. Okay. So we are starting at very good like pace. Okay, everyone is okay, but I don't want to see the dropouts. I mean, like, so we can't do it, or we have some other plans. Okay, stick to that. Okay, so just think of like this: what the after 4 months, this is what I want to be. Okay, so just have a small milestones. Okay, yeah, yeah, group will be made. Don't worry. Okay, we'll be doing that. Narendra. Yeah, Pinky, you can just share your question once again. And regarding group, that will be made and updated. Don't worry. Okay. Okay, Neeraj. Okay, so yeah, so while learning the tool, we'll learn the business problems. Okay, so it will be as an assignment, or it would be in the live class. So I may show, see, of course, I can't touch all the domains, right? So if I am taking one of the domain, I'll be working on that domain, I'll be showing it. You can do your assignments in your domain. Okay. So when I say like I'm giving some assignment, it will not be a domain specific. It will be some domain specific. You can just pick any of this domains you're interested in. You can start doing it. Again, even we'll have the data set with respect to that. Okay. Assume like you're interested in the marketing, or if you're interested in the health, we'll have the data set with respect to health. Okay, so you'll be very comfortable working with the health. Okay, so some people doesn't know about the health records. I mean, I assume like so they're not interested. Okay, so we'll not be forcing to do health, but we'll have the n number of options to do that. Okay, but in during the class we'll be doing it, I'll be showing it, then only I'll ask you to do it. Okay, so I'll not assume anything that, okay, so don't worry at all. Okay, so we'll do that. A foundation has so many things to learn and clear, but now how I gain the domain knowledge? Yeah, so domain knowledge, yes. So that is an interest, animation. Okay, so if you're interested, you'll get, I can, that's what. So in the next class, let's focus more on the domain aspects also. Okay, I'll be sharing some of the resources. If you're interested, for example, so it comes by the interest. Okay, so for example, if you ask me anything about the edtech, I'm very comfortable. I mean, like, I know everything about the edtech, and this domain is very comfortable to me. I can ask any, you can ask me any question with respect to this. When I say like ask questions, it's like terminologies or anything which comes under this domain. Okay, but if you ask me anything with respect to aviation, I don't know anything, right? So if I want to understand about the aviation, of course I need to read some articles, blogs, right? To get started. For example, most popular is finance, marketing. Okay, so all those things, you can easily it's easily available over the internet. Okay, you can just have a walk through it. When I say domain, it comes by the experience. Okay, very important. Okay, so when I say domain, you'll not learn that. I mean, like, of course you're gonna understand and you're gonna learn, you'll read books, you read blogs, but it comes by the experience. Okay, so when I say experience, uh, during the project building, or you're working in some company, okay, you're into some finance company, and you know, like, what are the data schema generally they have, and how the analysis is being done. Okay, so what could be the standard KPIs. Okay, so all those things will be very comfortable, because so you have been learned that in during the process, right? Generally the business analyst will be a more experienced people. Okay, because they'll be in the industry for longer time. Okay, and again, a network, as you got, I hope you got elaborate answer as well. Okay, in the chat you can just check that. Okay. Yes, any other doubts, guys? Okay, please come prepared. So you can just, and we'll take at least 10 minutes for the presentations. Okay, from your side also. I want you to please take it as serious. I mean, like, whatever the assignments I'm giving it. Again, I'm repeating, right? So and apart from this, the assignments which you get as, I mean, like, in the docs. Okay, you'll be doing that. But during the live classes, what we are telling, please try to do that. We will have almost 5 to 6 days time, right? So if you're dedicatedly, I mean, like, you're concentrated and you want to just crack this. Okay, like, have some target. Okay, to get into some good jobs, or you want to make some transitions. Okay, please have a look. Okay, think about the data sets also, just explore the websites. Okay, share with me also, right? So in the next you'll have the proper channel to share that everything, but come prepared with the domains. Okay, yeah. See, generally, like, you'll not real time data will not be shared in the public domain. Okay, that's what one of the drawback is. You'll get dummy data or fake data. Okay, but it's just replicating that real time scenarios. But actual data, it's very difficult to get it. Okay, of course we need to make use of this Kaggle or any other platforms. Okay, where we have the huge amount of data. Okay, so I'll be sharing that in detail. Okay, don't worry. Right? And next class, of course we'll have the proper channels to keep track of all these assignments. Okay, we'll have the discussions. Okay, we'll be doing. Okay, we'll make this course successful, and I want you people to make a transition. Okay, if you're serious about that. Yes. Okay, so all the then. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining, and so we'll meet next week. Okay, all the best. Bye. Take care. And I have shared my email address. You can just connect me for anything. Thank you. Thank you. Bye. Thanks.